You mess up the stats on the bogus BGG. Hello, I'm Ray Weber.
And I'm Jenny, and this is Weber Family Reviews. And we want to do our 2021 recap.
That's,
Well, okay, this actually, I had a more specific idea. He decided to encompass it, so it's partly his fault.
So we only have to do one video for this. So we played, I've got a difference here. She's got 489 based on her spreadsheet, and I've got 561 different plays. Now, she counts the expansions in Board Game Geek, and it messed up my stats.
He's such a whiner. But I do, because otherwise then Board Game Geek doesn't know that these expansions are getting played. It's an egregious lie then.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's not the game, it's the expansion. I'm stealing the pencil.
I put in both. Like if we played Dungeon Mayhem, I put in that we played the main one and then we played the expansions because the boys always play the people out of the expansions.
Yeah. All right, so that's a lot though. I've got roughly 248 different games played. And I'm actually assuming both of those being smaller, probably closer to about 200 total different games. But it's very difficult for us to find out. But we didn't get through our goals as much. You want to start with that one?
Yeah. So I was going to finish this. Our most played game of the year was Dungeon Mayhem,
Yep.
which not shocking. We play with the kids all the time. And then followed by Dominion, which again is not shocking because one of my goals that I did get accomplished, see my nice segue, is that I wanted to play through all our Dominion expansions and then rank them per se. And I didn't really rank them as I went through and did it, so I have a separate video on that. So that was one of my goals, and I did accomplish that. I wanted to finish Toy Story, which we did, the deck building game, and then we got rid of it. A lot of that simply is we weren't, I don't want to give any spoilers, but we were not happy with some of the later boxes.
Yeah.
At first, I could see how people were saying it was better than Harry Potter, but after we got through like box 5, we're like, oh my god, we have to finish this, but we don't want this anymore. Harry Potter's also been continuing to be supported. Toy Story has not. And we bought it thinking our kids want to play it. Our kids have shown no interest, so we passed it along. Yep. It's a good game. We got really frustrated with it. I think it was box 5.
I don't remember.
It was one of them. But anyways, I wanted to play through the newest expansion of Harry Potter deck building game, which we haven't. So that is now my 2022 goal. And then I wanted to play through all my different history type games, the Academy games, the GMT games, so then I can go through and maybe do a video on them. And I got through about half of them. So my goal for 2022 is to finish that. So I didn't get through 1754, 1960, Freedom, Memoir, One Small Step, and Twilight Struggle. I did get through 878, 1775, 1812, 13 Days, Rurik, and Lincoln, which we did. We actually got rid of Lincoln. Lincoln's actually a really cool game, but it's
you didn't like it.
Yeah, it's not a my type of game, but it's a good meaty game if you are the type who like those really meaty war/economic games. And there is. I mean, the South can win, but it all then comes down to getting that European support. So it's a really interesting game. I don't think it's something we're ever going to pull out. So again, we passed it along. But so that's where I am. And rather than setting a new goal, I just want to finish 2021 goals.
I haven't figured out what my goals will be, but my goal for last year was a 2 for 20. So we had 40 plays, and I got through 34. So I missed 6. I didn't play any Heaven and Ale, Airlines Europe, and then I only played one game of Carson City, one game of Cowboy Bebop, Board Game Boogie. There's a different one out there. I want it just for the minis. So at some point we're going to go for that. And then Rococo, we only got one play.
Last night.
Yeah. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, it means it's 7.
Because we had 3 of something else.
Oh, 7. So I actually 35. We have 33 plays, but it worked out. Didn't quite get through all of them, but we did get rid of a few. Fujikuro gone. Just was too fiddly. Akatori for a 2-player game, it's great, but it just
Explorers
we've got a bunch.
Killed it.
Yeah, we liked Explorers better. Explorers of the North Sea. I don't think we got rid
I thought there was one more. Oh, we got rid of Dinosaur Island, but that barely counts because we got Dinosaur World.
And then we like Dinosaur World better.
So, I mean, I don't really consider that was a switch. Oh, we got rid of Champions of Midgard.
A lot of people gave us weird looks for that, but honestly...
Well, when we talk our surprise of 2021, you'll see why we got rid of Champions.
Go ahead.
So my biggest surprise of 2021 was Reavers of Midgard. Given that I hate Champions of Midgard, I don't know that hate's the right word. I find it boring and vanilla, and I just didn't like it. And I expected this to be really similar, and I love this game. I mean, this was my huge surprise because I did not expect to like it. And Ray really liked it, and so then we decided to get rid of Champions. Yeah. And if you play with both especially the Valhalla expansion of Champions, it is better. I will give it that.
You need both.
You need both expansions to make that game, and I think if you played it the full complement of players, that would also help, but we play mostly 2-player. So again, Reavers, a huge smashing success for us in 2021, and why we got rid of Champions. But I really, as I said, I did not expect to like it, and I
That's in my top 10 now.
Yeah.
My surprise is one that was a 2020 game, but we played it this year, which was Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. This is a worker placement game that really rocks. I mean, there's a lot of surprises that were good that we had. I'm cheating looking at my phone.
Well, my Farm Shop, which we played last night, was spectacular.
But there's quite a few that if you look through and you're like, okay, this has really been a good year for us, even if they weren't the 2021 games. So my Farm Shop was.
No, it wasn't.
It's a 2021.
No, I think it's 2020.
Oh.
Well, whatever. We can argue about that later. You can check BGG.
This one really surprised me, but what disappointed me was Dune Imperium. I hear the shocked, and I know some people that watch this have just unsubscribed. Thematically wise, it's pretty good, but as the mechanics, I don't know. It just didn't hit well, and it probably shines at 4 players. And before you go, well, then just play it at 4-player. We do if we've got game day consistently. We haven't. Pandemic. And we still always will play most of our games 2-player or with the boys. This is not... And I like all the aspects. I just didn't find it fit as well as it should have for me. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I actually think it's a fine game. But for me, it just did not hit.
Well, and I knew it's not my theme, so I wasn't either way. Again, I agree it's not a bad game, and we both agree that that's a game that probably at the full complement plays really well. But I have no interest in the theme, and so then I was really... Now, I will say Tiny Epic Dinosaurs, we'd had... The first Tiny Epic we played, we both did not like.
Yeah.
And we kind of had some, like, negative about... And we've also had some negative experiences with games that were tiny for the sake of being tiny, or that came in tiny boxes and then took up 5.5 table spaces. There was some ninja game that was that. And so I think we were very leery of Tiny Epics, but this one hit really, really well. Our 11-year-old likes it. And it's nice because it's something we could travel with and feel like we've got a meaty game to offer to someone if we got it. Now, we didn't get it played on this last trip to Michigan, but we took it hoping to do that. We also got Tiny Epic Galaxies this year, and he likes it better than I do.
You don't like it?
It's okay. I think this one's better.
Oh, yes, this is worker placement. You love worker placement.
I do. Now, my biggest disappointment of 2021 was Curators. We had kickstarted it. We were really excited. It's got a really interesting mechanic of how you use the different worker powers. But it just didn't, the theme didn't come through right. It was a really big disappointment. And I think the mechanics have so much potential, but I don't think it was well realized in that game. And so we played it and ended up going, no, we're not keeping it, which is hard because it's like when you kickstarted something, you're like, oh, and we were super excited when it came in. And I feel like, again, we both felt like the mechanic of how the workers, you use it and then you flip it over and it has a different power on the backside. And so you have to be really careful because sometimes you can get stuck with all stuff you don't want. Actually, something like that happened to me in Rococo last night. But
Man, you
anyways,
still kicked my butt.
I did. I'm better at dressmaking than he is. But it's just because he wouldn't go watch the fireworks.
Yep.
That's all the whole reason. But it just didn't. It was these tiny chits. And again, we've found that last year we really realized just how much we hate fiddle. These tiny little chits that were the museum exhibits, and they weren't really. You'd have like make Cleopatra's necklace, but it wouldn't look anything like that because it's just putting chits out on the board, and it just didn't realize that potential that we were hoping for. So that was a huge disappointment for us.
Now, both of us discovered that Stan Kordonski, Kordonskiy, he's the designer of Dice Hospital, Rurik, and Old West Espinario, and I think a couple other things. I went hunting for it because I've actually liked all of his games so far. Very much so. We went hunting for the out-of-print Old West Espinario, found it in Michigan, played it, and it's great. So honestly, we found a new designer that we both just kind of went, okay, any of his stuff we'll try. So
Well, and we kickstarted the expansion for Rurik.
we got it.
Okay.
It's downstairs. You played it.
Oh, I did? Oh, cool. That was awesome, I'm sure.
She's moving on.
We start something else and I forget.
Chai expansion.
Oh, yeah, we did get rid of Chai. So, last year, that was probably our biggest disappointment of last year was Chai.
Yep.
Because I wanted that game to be so good, and it was not. And we got the expansion just a couple weeks ago for Chai, hoping it would fix it. No, it doesn't. We've got the 2-player Chai coming because Hope Springs Eternal, I guess, for me and Chai. But that was a letdown. The expansion is cool, but it doesn't fix the problems with the game.
Yep.
So.
Um.
Well, that's our 2021.
That is?
Yeah, I think. Do we have anything else to say for 2021? We had some really low gaming months in 2021.
September and October.
Yes.
Bad.
Summer was pretty good, and summer's always better for us. But we definitely had some lower months. September and October were just hard months. So hopefully, here's a really cool 2022.
Here's hoping.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.